Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Man 123 are back with another video, and welcome to another all my minifigs in my collection so far. And today in this episode we'll be taking a look at all my Lego Ninjago main ninja minifigs from series 9. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, we have Lloyd, and I love the amount of detailing on his torso and legs. The amount of printing is definitely really cool. And I also love the different shades of green. We have like this lighter green up here, and then some dark green on his sleeves, and then a really nice shade of green just throughout his torso and legs. Both do have some really nice printing, and then the dark grey and possibly light grey is also really cool. And then at the back, he does continue that amount of detailing for the torso. It would have been really cool to possibly get some leg printing. And then his sword, I think, is only specific to Lloyd. So he has this really nice mold for a sword, but I might be wrong there. His first facial expression, he does seem to be quite sort of disappointed or angry. And then his next one, he does seem to be pretty happy. And then the hairpiece he does have is definitely really cool. And it does appear in, I believe, a couple of other Season 9 sets. And then also some other Ninjago sets after that. Next we have Nia. And she was also in the Throne Room Showdown set. And I really love this version of Nia. I love the weapon she does have. It's actually built up with a couple of pieces, which is really cool. So it's great they just didn't like make a new mold completely for this spear piece. It actually uses a couple of pieces. I especially like this really cool sort of like dagger piece. It might have possibly been in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sets from like the cartoons, but I'm not 100% sure. And then the amount of detailing on Nia is really awesome as well. A lot of printing in like dark grey, light grey, but then also some really cool prints of blue to actually represent the elemental power of water, which I think is definitely cool. I think we have some printing for like a zip just here, and that might be possibly Master Wu, but I'm not 100% sure, just like a different print. And then we just have a couple of prints on the legs as well, which looks really cool. And then at the back, it does continue that really nice blue coloring and just a bit more torso printing. Her arms don't have any printing. And then the ninja hood piece is actually in two separate pieces because I believe from the Lego Ninjago movie all the way up to possibly season, I think after season 9, they actually use just regular hood pieces. In my opinion, they're annoying because like you can very easily make it look bad by like accidentally placing it like that, for instance. So it's very easy to like move around, which is annoying. But apart from that, I really love the color design for it with like the black, the dark grey, and then also the symbol, which might possibly represent water. And then at the back, the knot piece, in my opinion, should possibly go down to about here, just like the legacy ones. I think they are perfect. And then taking it off, her first facial expression is she does look pretty disappointed, almost very similar to Lloyd's one. And then her other one, she does, like, I think that they look very similar. Like, there's that one, and then the other one is that. So they look exactly like, but one may be, like, more disappointing than the other. That is really strange. I've never noticed that. Next up, we have Jay, and this is him in the realm of Oni and Dragon, and he does come in a couple of sets from this wave. One being the Stormbringer. I'm pretty sure that's the set, and this is where I actually got Jay. The weapons he does have are really cool. I like the overall design for him, and I think the part usage is really cool. So we have this sort of a chain with like this almost dagger-like thing on there, which is definitely really cool. But then this sword is really awesome. I believe this is the first time we were getting like specialized molds for Ninjago. It might have been like maybe a couple other sets before, but that was the first time I actually did see it. And I love this mold for the sword. The dragon handle in gold is really cool. And he does have another weapon, which I think is really cool. It's a mini dagger instead of like the long sword. And then just like Lloyd and Nia, Jay has some really cool detailing and a lot of printing. So I love the amount of detailing on the torso with just like a bunch of black, blue, white, and also some silver or like a sort of light grey. And even on the legs, it does have some really cool printing. It is quite hard to see like far away, but you can just see like almost some small triangle printing, which is definitely very interesting. I love how it is ripped down the bottom. It just adds a little more detailing. And then at the back, it does have a bit more printing. And to access that, you can actually take off this really cool black armor piece, which is very cool to actually see once again because I believe the original Ninjago sets from like the pilot season, for maybe possibly season 2, we actually got to see these pieces in a really cool gold and silver coloring, so it's really cool and also pretty awesome to see it once again. And then Jay's back printing is also just full of detailing and some really cool prints. And we also have another rip, which definitely does add to the printing. And Jay does have the same design for the helmet, the two different pieces, or like ninja hood, and I think I stuffed it up. But apart from that, in my opinion, I really don't like these because they're just really annoying to try pull back together because like you got to be just right or it does look really weird. But I think the black and the blue work really nicely together, and I believe that symbol possibly means lightning or represents lightning. Jay's first face expression is he does look pretty like happy or sort of like enthusiastic, and then his other one he does look pretty disappointing, and I definitely love that one. And then the final minifig is Zane. He does come in the same set as Jay Stormbringer. I believe that's what the set was called. And then also a couple of other Ninjago sets from this wave. His accessories are this really nice bow in the black coloring. I have seen it before in brown, so it's definitely really cool to get a different color of it. And then the sort of quill, I think that's what it's called, of the arrows is just black as well. And then this is another example of the swords and just the different molds for swords. Instead of just like the long sword would possibly come out to about here, it's actually sort of cut off in the middle, so you can actually attach it to this sort of piece here. So then it definitely does look really good. I just love how that does look. Instead of just having just another sword, you can have a bit more of a different sword. So taking them off, it does reveal the printing for Zane, and I think it definitely does look really cool because all the minifigs in this wave of Ninjago, in my opinion, definitely have some pretty awesome printing. I love the amount of detailing on it with like the silver, the black, the white, and also a bit of blue, which is definitely really awesome to see. And then even the legs have some really cool printing with the different colors. And then Zane also does have those sort of small, sort of silver triangles, very hard to actually see on camera and in person. So taking off the quill of arrows, now hopefully I'm correct there, it does reveal a bit more printing, and I just love the amount of detailing on him. And he does have these small triangles as well, and it's a little more easier to see. He does have this sort of like scrape here, which I think is really cool, very similar to Jay, where he had like a bit of skin showing. In Zane's case, he does have like a bit of metal showing because he is a Nindroid or a robot. Just the amount of detailing is really cool. And I also love, instead of just having like two white sleeves, he does have a dark, sort of a dark greyish one to sort of show that he is a Nindroid, which I think is really cool. And the black and the white and then the symbol in the blue, no, they work okay, but I feel like they should have done it white instead of a blue because it does look a little strange. But I can see why, because then it was just basically like white and then a bit of black and then like another bit of white up here. So it's okay that they did blue, but I kind of wish they maybe chose maybe a different color. So taking it off, it only does have one facial expression, which is definitely disappointing. I feel like they could have possibly done another one because at the back it's just like the sort of controls or just the sort of mechanism of how like Zane works, which is definitely very interesting because you really don't see that with two minifigs who are like robots or minifigs in general because usually they have two different faces. So it's interesting to actually see that, but I wish they did include another facial expression because they could have possibly had like a sort of beaten up Zane with like in the Oni and Dragon realm. they could have possibly had him maybe like happy or like shocked, because at the moment he does look pretty scared, which I think is really cool. And I just love the detailing on his head with like the different lines and dots. So, hope you guys did enjoy this, all my minifigs in my collection so far episode, because I really did enjoy sharing my thoughts and opinions on all my Lego Ninjago minifigs from Season 9 in my collection. So, hopefully in the future I might get Kai and Cole, because they're the only two ninjas I'm missing from Season 11. And I think all of them from Season 9 definitely do look really awesome, because I just love the amount of detailing on them for not just like the torso and the leg printing, but also the weapon area, because as I said with Jay, they introduced some really new pieces for like swords and all that, and it was really cool to actually see that. So I would definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below, and as always guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I cannot wait to see you next video. Goodbye!